Is Biden the key to marijuana stock growth? What will this year's presidential election do to the cannabis industry? In 2020, we have the fortunate position of participating in an extremely crucial election. We all know that the fight for victory against Donald Trump and Joe Biden will be a legendary one. But how will it affect marijuana stocks? Well, major Canadian pot stocks like Aurora Cannabis Inc, Valens Corp, and OrganiGram Holdings Inc have much less to worry about than their American counterparts. This includes US pot stocks like GrowGeneration Corp and Harvest Health and Recreation Inc. Because of this, it's extremely important that we take a look at where the cannabis industry could go under a new president. While the importance of Trump winning the election to the cannabis industry has already been defined, we don't know what the market will look like under Biden. Would Biden be helpful to the cannabis industry? Although a president alone cannot change the complete future of the cannabis industry, they can do a lot to make it run better. In order for Biden to make any big changes, he would have to gain a controlling stake in the House of Representatives or the Senate. If that happens, it would be a major cause for positivity in the cannabis industry. One of the best things that could happen would be a change for US-based MSO pot stocks. These companies are on the front line of the cannabis industry and need new legislation more than any others. Could Biden pose a threat to marijuana stocks? In the past, we have seen that Joe Biden is not always the clearest when it comes to his legislative plans, but between him and Kamala Harris, there should be some positivity for cannabis-related legislation. We have seen in his polls thus far that Biden is leading by a substantial margin, and a lot depends on what happens in the debates in the next few months. But under President Trump, we have not seen any major positive updates to the cannabis industry. Rather, it has stayed stale from a federal point of view. The good thing is that we already know what a cannabis industry looks like under Trump, and we know that it could only get better if Biden is able to secure the win. But as stated before, it also depends on what happens in other branches of government. Regardless of the election, things look good for marijuana stocks. Projections have shown that the cannabis industry is headed in an upward trend in the next few years. COVID has proven that marijuana is an essential product in the US and one that the people want to see legalized. Because of this, many leading pot stocks have reported better than expected gains in the past 6 months. Shares of some major marijuana stocks have shot up in the high double digits in that time period, illustrating that the bulls are deep in the cannabis industry. But again, a lot will depend on what happens on November 3rd. The most important thing we can do as citizens is to go out and vote. This will help play a role in what could be the future of the cannabis industry. But regardless of who wins, the cannabis industry should see growth in the long term. It truly comes down to how easy it will be for the industry to surmount that growth.